Good morning. Welcome to the wake up call with myself and Alex. How's everyone feeling out of 10? Make sure you guys are spamming that like button. If you've never been a part of the show, me and Alex, we go over the news, the analysis, and our weird crypto takes.
Yes. Good morning. Weird crypto takes and all. 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. All right. I'll take it. All right. Top story. Obviously, everyone woke up to a nice red dip. Oh my God, the sky is falling. 120 million liquidated from the cryptocurrency market in the past hour.
Oh no, it's a moon of some sort. No, I don't know. Um, I'm going to talk about this when we look at the charts. I just we were last Friday we were oversold or sorry overbought, excuse me, and then over the weekend and into early this week we were extremely overbought, and so this seems like a typical correction in a hopeful reversal that's happening here. So, oh no, 120 million liquidated. I
Call your
mean,
mother.
yeah, that seems to happen very often. So,
Got her on speed dial.
yeah.
uh, all right. The Ethereum Pectra upgrade was successful. And there's never been a more Ethereum hater than myself. And I think that this is a step in the right direction for Ethereum, getting out of that AOL conversation.
Yeah, man, that's great. That's I mean, we joked before the live stream. All I was going to say is I don't know anything about this Pectra upgrade. So, okay, cool. Ethereum sucks less. Great.
So, if you don't know what the upgrade is trying to do, it's trying to allow developers the ability to have applications inside of the wallet. And as well, the big one to me is you're going to be able to pay Ethereum gas fees and the transactions on other networks. So this is a massive deal. If they can actually, I haven't verified this myself. I'm just going off of what the reports are, but that's the report is that you can do Ethereum transactions on other networks, and if that is true, I think that that's a big deal for Ethereum, like actually, and
All
I
right.
would give it a lot more oomph. Now, short term, I don't think that this is gonna like, oh my god, put in your Ethereum longs today.
Yeah.
Although it is oversold, and it might not actually be a bad play, but I don't think it's gonna moon tomorrow or next week or anything like that. But I do think in the micro, aka 1 year time frame, because I know a lot of people's micro is 1 day, 1 hour. My micro is 1 year. In the micro time frame, I think that Ethereum is oversold, um, and I think that it's going to get north of $7,000. So
Okay. So, question on this is this are we out of Ethereum? Is AOL territory or are we still there?
we're not out of the woods, but I can see the house.
Okay. All right.
So we're still in the woods, but I can see the house from here. All
Sounds good.
right. So that's where I'm at. This is a step in the right direction for Ethereum. Listen, I'll give credit where credit's due. No one's been a bigger hater than me.
Yeah.
BitBoy was arrested for threatening a judge via email. This is what the kids, I believe, call as crashing out.
Yes. Okay. BitBoy. This is really depressing to me. I'm looking at his age on this sheet, and I'm older than BitBoy. Would you have ever imagined? This guy looks like he looks like he's 58, and he acts like he's 18, or maybe that's too insulting to 18-year-olds. I've known. I mean, all right, we all I think most people they look at BitBoy crypto like especially during his apex and I think most people would be like this guy I don't know man I don't know um I don't know if he's if this is somebody I should be listening to and he reeked of just sketchiness. Okay, I was in a Telegram group with him and probably like 30 other content creators, and I saw firsthand his insanity. He was unhinged in that group, and I won't give up detail or share any specific details, but like this was in September of 2021, and the red flags were just blaring in ways that you might not have even seen on his channel. So no
Uh,
at all, and I don't know even what to say. I mean, I don't even I want to say I wish him well. I wish that he would get help.
yeah. Yeah. If you didn't know, BitBoy actually is the one who made Bitcoin orange. So that's his claim to fame.
Okay,
I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did not.
Yeah, he designed the logo for Bitcoin. Um, it's my understanding that he like had, substance abuse
Yeah,
issues, and this kind of reeks of that. I know what that looks like firsthand. So it's just kind of what it looks like to me. So I don't know. I don't want to like throw any accusations out there, but I'm with you. I hope he gets help. Yeah, this is a man. I could not imagine doing that though. That's insanity. No bond, by the way. No bond.
yeah. Don't threaten a judge, kids.
Yeah. All right, time for everybody's favorite game, Bull or Bear. CBDCs will 10x crypto or go to zero.
So crypto will go to zero.
Yes.
Okay, those are the options. 10x. Well, I mean, I listen. CBDCs will not do anything to Bitcoin, at least. So Bitcoin will 10x. There will be a day when Bitcoin is well over $850,000, and will CBDCs be the cause of that or be an attempt to prevent that? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. So something that I have these ideas that I sort of marinate on, and I have one that is brewing, and it's here's the hook. Trump, the orange man, I know we dare not say his name on TikTok, the standing president. The orange man is the Trojan horse of crypto.
The
And
Trojan horse. Go ahead.
and what I mean by that is, in 2022 and 2023, I'm sure you remember the narrative, and there was a lot of like fear mongering going on, and they would play the scary music, the oh no 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 no, that
Yeah,
and they would play that, and they just talk about like CBDCs, the World Economic Forum.
yeah,
This is part of the reason why XRP was popular back then too, because it was like, well, you better get your slice of the pie, because they're gonna world domination and get your chip, or you're not gonna be able to eat or nothing like that. And so CBDCs were a big narrative back in 2022. And the interesting thing is like Trump was sort of anointed as this hero of crypto, like this crypto savior. He's going to save the bull market, and he's going to send us to Valhalla and off to Neverland. Cannot wait. And it was supposed to be the Bitcoin strategic reserve, the crypto strategic reserve, all these different things. And the only thing I've ever heard him talk about is stablecoins, stablecoin. And what I mean by that is like that's what I mean. The Trojan horse
yeah.
of the CBDC or of cryptocurrency, and that's what it seems to be. Is like it's wrapped up and packaged as something different, but to me, the ramifications we might not feel this 4 years or maybe even the next, but it seems like something is cooking that I'm not, excited about.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean that's the point of my username, World War Bitcoin, is that once, and I think they've started a little bit, just a fraction, once they wake up to the fact that Bitcoin is a disruptor to the power that they wield over us with fiat currencies, they're going to do what they can to diminish that power. And it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's people you like or people you don't like, that they're all going to share a common interest, or at least that the real people who run this country are going to share a common interest. So
Yeah, hopefully I'm dead wrong. I would just love to be
Yeah.
like mockingly, like we look back in 2 or 3 years and like, wow, what a dumb take. We pull up Ski's worst takes of all time. I would love for that to happen. But I have a weird feeling about it. All right. Bull or bear, Trump's Bitcoin reserve will start next cycle, not this one.
um, we talked about this a little bit before. I'm going to stick with bull. That nothing's going to happen this cycle with a strategic Bitcoin reserve, aside from what he announced. If we're talking about when we talk about strategic reserve, buying of 1 million Bitcoin
Yes.
over 5 years, then I'm still skeptical of that. But I think you have a different opinion.
I'm a bear on this statement. That's right. I
Oh,
think that
oh yeah, yeah,
I think it will get past this cycle, but it's going to go through. It's going to go. It's not going to be this executive order type thing that we all wanted. I think it's going to get through Congress and the Senate, and I think it's going to get passed into law. But I think it's going to get passed into law at the top, is what I
okay,
think. I think by the time it actually does, and I think it'll probably be like more in line with either your theory or mine of like late 2025 or 2026
yeah,
is when it's actually going to get passed. And that to me is going to signal the top.
all right.
Buy the rumor, sell the news to a massive, massive scale. Overrated, underrated. Crypto conferences are overrated or underrated?
Well, I've been to one crypto conference in my life, and I did not attend any sessions. I went to network and to meet with people who I had known online, including you, Devin. And so, by that definition, I'm going to go ahead and say that crypto conferences are overrated.
Um, for me, if you're just going for information that you haven't heard,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that it's overrated. But if you're going for overall of like getting a group of people together that have common interests, common goals, I think that that is an underrated factor. I did learn some things while I was at the Bitcoin conference, but the better part of what it was all about the networking, and to me, that is an underrated
yeah,
thing. So when all things considered, I'm going to say underrated. The information, though, overrated.
yes.
All right, token utility, overrated, underrated.
Actual utility, I would say, can be underrated. Token utility, at least as what they promise you is concerned, is very overrated.
Mm, I like the parameters that you put on that, and
Yeah,
I would agree. So if we're talking buzzwords,
yeah,
AI, or if we're talking buzzwords, like the most overrated thing properly.
yeah,
But if we're talking proper utility of, you know, blockchain technology, I would say very underrated, very, very underrated. But like, that's the thing. What percentage of coins are actually doing what they say they're doing? What
yeah.
percentage of coins are actually profitable, making money, generating revenue from their utility and not by dumping supply? And I would say it's a small percentage.
Yep, agreed.
All right. It's time for the charts.
Okay, so I have been very busy in life this week. I have not looked at many charts. I've not made much content. I have not gone live very often. So I'm going to share with you some basic observances of the market and then hand it over to Devin. Interesting things that we can see right here. So it's been a battle with the 200-day moving average. And again, I pay attention to the simple moving average. Bitcoin was in a battle trying to hold between, and it may still be that this is a wick or something like that. But the 200-day moving average and a trend line, and it tried breaking through this trend line multiple times and just showed too much weakness. And not only that, but if you look at stochastic for 2025, We were more overbought at any point in 2025 since the first week of January. And we were overbought last week. We've been overbought with Bitcoin for about 12 days. It made sense that this is the direction that we would go. That down would be the direction for now that we would go short term. That we would form some kind of a higher low. Where do we bottom out from here? I don't know. We can certainly go lower than where we are now. And I did make a video last week talking about April 2nd. Is it April 2nd? Yeah, April 2nd. That is the day that the tariffs come into effect. And that is the day, in my opinion, that we will reach peak fear when it comes to the markets. There's a lot of indicators that I can show you. There's even something like stock market wise. I'm not going to pull it up right now, but the sentiment of the general market, that the sentiment for the general market has been bearish 5 weeks in a row. The general sentiment, the public sentiment for the market has been more bearish than bullish for 5 weeks in a row. The last 2 times that has happened has marked significant local bottoms. You pair that with peak fear in the market, like with fear priced in with these tariffs. And the video that I made earlier this week was that would be a buy the event kind of thing. A lot of people, I've heard some people say that the market's going to dump when the tariffs are in effect. That doesn't quite make sense to me. Why people always sell leading into the event, which I'm sure Devin's going to talk about here in a little bit. Total 2, same deal, same exact thing. We were overbought last Friday and even more overbought throughout this week. It makes sense for Total 2 to put in a higher low right now. And hopefully, again, that we would be starting a series of higher highs, higher lows for the next couple months here, and then we'll see about after that. I just want to address a comment that I saw on TikTok. Oh, great, that's the guy 3 days ago that was saying now is the time to buy. And my general mindset right now that it's been ever since we've seen Total 2 break this downtrend is yes, in general, now is the time to buy. And you know what? We're putting in a higher low. We have an opportunity right now. I believe we're going to be putting in a higher low. Even more so, now's the time to buy. Now is the time. I've been DCAing. I started DCAing last week. I've been DCAing throughout this week, and I will finish DCAing next week.
Is 3 days a long time?
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, is 3 days a long time? If it is, maybe pull back from 176x leverage.
Yeah.
And maybe just do 3x, or maybe just buy a spot. Sorry to cut you off here, but when I say, and I think that Alex would attest this too, I don't want to speak for you, but when I say the bottom is in, what I'm referring to, and let me just say this now and forever, what I'm not saying is there will never ever be a wick and there will never ever be any liquidation. What I'm speaking to is to the structure that is forming, a structural bottom, which could take weeks to play out, could take months. But when we look back a year from now, because me and Alex have a bigger time horizon than 3 days, we will know that this was the bottom structure relatively.
All right, let me address my favorite troll in the YouTube comments here. I thought you hate DCAing. Face green, smiling, face green, smiling, face green. I can't even see your emojis. What I hate doing is DCAing from the peak to the bottom. I like DCAing when I believe that we are close to the bottom, or that we are nearing a reversal. So DCAing for 52 weeks a year, not a fan. DCAing for a small window of time, yes, big fan.
All right, sorry I cut you off.
I'm done.
Okay, all right. Well, it's interesting that you mentioned the war in Israel and the tariffs. You didn't, but I just
mentioned
did.
The tariffs, but the war
I did in my head. In my head, you did, and that was enough for me to segue.
Go for it.
That was enough for me to segue into my point. And so a trap that I get caught up into, and I'll just be fully transparent with you guys, is being a content creator, you have this pressure of always making content. But like where I really thrive as a technical analyst is viewing structural patterns as well as like especially Wyckoff. And Wyckoff doesn't always happen. You know what I mean? At least on a clear picture. It's a more macro way of viewing and analyzing the markets. And every now and again, I will get away from the moving averages, the trend lines, things like that, which I think are useful, and I will get some real in depth TA. And one of these moments, I feel like we are moving into one of those moments of real in depth in my bag TA. And that's what I think that this is. So on the top is Bitcoin on the daily chart, and on the bottom is Bitcoin on the 5 hour chart. Now, this was during the war in Israel, and sentimentally, I would say that we have a lot of the same structure or the same feelings about the same event. So it was a very, very scary moment that was happening in the market, and the markets did not like it. And it was during the war in Israel. It was World War III was being jammed down our throat every day. It was CNN, it was Fox, it was every major media, and we were on the back of a real recession. So it was very scary times. And, there was definitely a like, man, could we go into World War III? Like, I remember I was still in the army at the time, and they would like have CNN just on the TV talking about this war in Israel developing because they really thought that World War III was about to start. And for reference, like they don't just play CNN unless some real stuff is happening. So that was what was going on at the time. And so sentimentally, and what I mean by that is a narrative can be negative and it can impact the market negatively for so long. And people think that the markets do not like events, but what the markets do not like is uncertainty.
Hmm.
And there becomes a point in time when the market is no longer uncertain about event. And this was the same thing. So the war kicked off right here. The war continues and Bitcoin goes higher. Okay. Because it can only be a negative event. And you're saying 5 weeks in a row. That's an insane amount of time for so long until the market becomes used to it. It's not the FTX going to zero. It's not the whoever the president is. It's not the actual event. It's the uncertainty that the market does not like. Okay, so that is the sentiment. Let's look at the structure on how I think that this is very similar because I think that the tariffs sentimentally is a very negative event that the markets do not like and is pushing us down. But however you feel about the orange man, listen, tariffs are not worse than World War III. I promise. They're just not. Okay. So on the top, we have Bitcoin during the war in Israel. On the bottom, we have Bitcoin from November of 24 to present. Okay. So you have this peak right here, and this is fresh after a pretty violent move. And you have this peak right here, fresh after a pretty violent move to the upside, right? Then you have a peak that goes even higher, a peak that goes even higher. You start to creak like in Wyckoff. You have your creek in Wyckoff, and then you take it all out. Boom, selling climax. Okay. Then you take it all out. Boom, selling climax. Now, I know that this is, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I know that this is the selling climax because look at how oversold the RSI got. On the daily, we got down into the teens. Okay. And not only do I know that this is oversold because of because of the RSI, but literally the rules of Wyckoff show us that the secondary test goes lower than the selling climax. The selling climax is the bottom, but the secondary test goes lower. Technically, the bottom goes lower, but this is the actual event climax, selling climax. Okay. So that's what this is. This is the selling climax. And then look, the secondary test goes lower, but sentimentally, look at the RSI. The RSI is higher. That's a divergence. The RSI is higher than the selling climax. That's textbook. Okay, so what do we have right here? You have your creek fall off a cliff, and then you have your selling climax. Okay, so the RSI is lower than the secondary test. That is a divergence. The secondary test went lower than the selling climax. Okay. So what did you start to get after that? You starting to get higher low, higher low. You could call this a higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high breakout. Okay. So what do we have? Higher low, higher low. If this little structure right here holds, this would be a confirmation of a higher low. And then you also have a higher high, and then the next thing we need is one more higher high. So to me, structurally, this is a very, very, very similar structure. And then I would say too, I would like to point us to, so that's where I think that we're at in the micro. I think that this is a micro bear trap, and I think we're going to head into a bull trap if we're not experiencing it right now. And then in the macro, to me, this is a very similar structure as well to this right here. And I've talked about this a lot ad nauseum. In 2022, I was saying Bitcoin is the biggest portion of my portfolio. Why is Bitcoin the biggest portion of my portfolio? Because Bitcoin will come down the least in the bear market, and then it will go up first. Everyone keeps talking about like alt season is canceled. When have we ever had a moment where the altcoins were at their bear market lows? When were they ever at their bear market lows, Ski? Oh, I don't know. How about the 2021? So on the top, I have Bitcoin. On the 1-day chart. On the bottom, we have the total 3 on the 1-day chart. This is the same time frame. So you have your C19 crash, your C19 crash. I have it circled.
I think you need to switch.
Oh, dang it. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So I don't know what we missed there, but so on the top we have Bitcoin. On the bottom we have the total 3. You have your C19 crash. You have your C19 crash. This is your January 2021 peak, and this is the same time frame as you can see. Let me scroll. January 2021 peak. So this peak right here, let me actually get it exactly right so you know. So this is the same moment as right here. Okay. And you can see as I'm scrolling, this is the same time. So when was the last time that the altcoins were at their bear market lows during the same time frame? I don't know. How about last cycle? Okay. I want you guys to know from this moment, from the C19 crash till this first peak, Bitcoin does over a 10x. During the same moment, the total 3 does like a 2.5x. Like it's up, but it's relatively flat. Okay. So Bitcoin way outperforms this. And then Bitcoin pulls back. The altcoins pull back. This is a pretty violent crash here. It doesn't look like it in the grand scheme of things because that's how it always is. This is a 34% correction. Okay. Bitcoin pulls back. And then from this moment, Bitcoin only does another 1x. Okay. That's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think Bitcoin maybe does a 1x, maybe a 2x from here. So it does a 1.3x from here. From this bottom to the absolute top, it does a 1.3x. I want to show you guys what the total 3 looked like from this pullback until the show was over. Okay, that's the end of the story. So to me, this is a macro bear trap right here, a similar structure that's happening. And then in the micro, it's the same setup that we had. The tariffs have the same structural setup as the war in Israel.
Okay. Very little thing. You have Elon on SNL in the wrong spot, but it's not. I mean, it's the same. It was the peak of 2021 in terms of sentiment. So
when did he go? Let me fix this.
What date was of 2021?
The 9th?
Yeah, May 9th.
May 9th. Okay, well I have that wrong then. So it's right here.
Yeah. But I mean, there were other things that happened. I mean, well, really, so the spot futures ETFs launched on November 10th of 2021.
Okay.
And so that was a key, you know, I mean, not that it was a huge mainstream news that everyone got excited about, but that was a peak, just like the CME futures launch in December of 2017 was the peak of 2017. So
there you go.
And it's the same thing, but the other way around. I mean, that you've been talking about this for as long as we've been going live together. That big positive news marks the peak, which supports your thesis, your argument that that the Bitcoin strategic reserve would launch at the peak. And it supports the argument in favor of this idea that the tariffs launching would be a bottom. So anyway, I saw a comment. I just want to address it real quick.
Someone said, "Can we see while you looked for that? Can we see anything? Just you. If you want to see our charts, we're live on YouTube right now at World War Bitcoin or at your boy Ski. TikTok has lost its chart privileges from me.
Yeah. So somebody with a Solnick avatar or whatever says, "I thought you guys got divorced," and the answer to that is no. Why did you think that? And I understand. So personally, I want to tell you guys, I decided to pull back a little bit instead of doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just for the time being, wanting to do just Friday because of how little time in the day I have to devote to my work. It's really frustrating, but with my kids in school, I have about 6 hours on days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I drop them off and pick them up. Mondays, I don't pick them up, but I have meetings all afternoon on Mondays for things outside of crypto. And so I decided I just wanted to give more time to looking at charts and focusing on things like that. So anyway, but we're still here. Here we are.
We didn't get a divorce.
No.
If we did, it's your fault.
That's my fault.
You're the no. It's Charles. It's you're the reason mom and dad broke up, Tim.
That's right. Oh, it's Tim's fault. Yes, it's Tim's fault. Yep, definitely.
No, I'm just kidding. Why are we dumping? I mean, we just went from 78K to 88K. What do you want?
This guy Zed. I mean, I muted him. He was commenting on my live stream. Why are we dumping? Holy F! This is getting ridiculous. I'm going insane.
Pull back the leverage, bro. Or
My
maybe
goodness.
maybe don't max out the credit cards.
I just oh my goodness. This is my least favorite part about going live. Is just needing to remain level-headed while people, hey, thank you, Fake Calvin Hill. Fake Calvin Hill on TikTok says keep up the good work.
Would you load up more XRP or Chainlink? I think that Chainlink is a better value right now than XRP, personally.
I bought some Chainlink this morning, so there's my answer. But I mean, I have a lot more XRP. I have more XRP than Chainlink. So
I have way more XRP than Chainlink. I believe in them both long term, but just right now in the next year, I think that Chainlink is a better value. And I went long this morning on Chainlink. So
there we go. All right.
But I like them both. Alex, what are you DCing in?
It's excuse me. I wish I had a system in place. I don't. I'll scroll through my trading view charts. I will look at different cryptos and be like, hey, you know what? That looks good. I actually, so the one that I was that I actually bought was I bought some of Beam, which is not so. I mean, that's a surprise to me. I was looking at the chart and I was seeing just several high volume days. So I'm still up on it, even though it's down 15% today. I'm not worried about that. But I did buy some Beam last week. I don't remember when I bought it. So I bought some Beam. But then other than that, it's mostly large caps. Like I said, I bought some Chainlink. I did buy a little bit of Caspa, not Casper, the friendly ghost. I bought some Pendle. XRP. I bought a little bit more of XRP. I bought some Doge. So HBAR, bought some HBAR as well. And I have a limit order set for Cardano that I've just been praying would hit, and I don't know if it's hit. So like I said, extremely boring. No, it hasn't hit yet. Man.
Cardano's chart, I think, looks stronger than most of the altcoins.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think most of the altcoins look stronger than people think. Um, someone said the 8427 CME gap got filled. And it's just a
Okay.
higher low. So on my chart, so Alex pays more to the simple moving average 200, and I pay more attention to the EMA. On my chart, it was a fake out below it, break above it, back test on it. So we've been flirting with it this entire time. We've been flirting. Here, I'll just show mine real quick. So I got Bitcoin. So the blue line is, we came back to it, broke below it, broke above it, broke below it again, broke above it, and now we're back testing it. So let's see if this holds. If this holds, I think that could be flipping what was presented as resistance now as support. Again, not out of the woods, but I can see the house from here. 92 is the next level for me. That puts us in full bullish posture very
Yeah.
quickly. So that is the next key line in the sand. 85 was the first one for me. We've gotten that. Let's see if we can hold it. If we can hold it, I think that we're headed in the right direction. That's what I would say. These moves, we think that they should just play out tomorrow, next hour, but that's
Yeah.
not reality. It really takes weeks and months to play out.
100%.
What's up with Pinlink? Pinlink, to me, I was screaming from the mountaintops to take profit in November and December on Pinlink, and I got a lot of hate for that. I actually think that Pinlink is bottoming right now. I think it's working on Wyckoff accumulation. That's what I think about Pinlink. And I don't know anything about the project, not even a little bit, but I know people were asking me about this back in November and December, and
Yeah.
I was screaming from the mountaintops, for the love of God, if you were my brother, I would tell you to take profit. And
Yep.
this is the chart that we saw back in November. This is just straight line up. That's what I kept saying. Yep, that's how charts work. You just go on a straight note, never get a red day, not even one. And that's what we got. And then I was like, for the love of God, take profit. Then you got your distribution, and then this is your markdown. You have broken the downtrend, and you're just working on accumulation. So this is like in the rules of Wyckoff, once you get your distribution and your markdown, once you break the downtrend, it's a safe buy. And I don't know anything about Pinlink, but from a chart perspective, this looks like a bottoming structure coming in.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another one that I bought some Pinlink as well. Cause I did do research on this. I made a video on my TikTok and my YouTube channel about it. I am a believer in Pinlink, as if you like render, if you like the use case of render, I think that Pinlink is an advancement of that. But I was looking at the chart. I was seeing something similar. I was like, this looks like it's at a good value right now. I had zero. I bought Pinlink, sold. I was also screaming for Pinlink that you've got to be taking heavy profits. I exited entirely, all the way up, and then all the way down, and then around the point when it lost that level of support. I can't see it on your chart, and I don't have it pulled up on mine, but I think it's around $2. When I saw that it lost that, I was like, all right, I'm done. So now I'm seeing, see it down here. It looks like it's at a good value.
Really good confirmation too of a selling climax coming in. Like RSI is not everything, but if you have a big steep downtrend like this, and then you break the downtrend with it flashing in the red, that's a good indication that that's the selling climax right there. Now you might get a secondary test. It might go a little bit lower in the micro. This is, again, I'm not saying that it's never going to wick any more lower, but what I'm saying is I think that the structure is forming, that a bottom relatively, when we look back a year from now, we could say that, yes, this was the bottom. And I drew this a while ago. This would be textbook Wyckoff playing out. So there you go. I think a retracement is in order. That'd be 280, 290. I mean, that's a pretty good move minimum.
Yeah.
So
I'm here for the retracement. I'm here to make some short-term gains on that. So Let me address something. There was a question: are we going to be able to buy He in on chain? And the answer to that is yes. I am going to do a space with someone from the on chain team on April 2nd. Is that Wednesday? I think that's next Wednesday. Yeah. So
Gasp and bear.
yeah,
Not
April's
expected.
the day that the markets are supposed to go to zero. I will do a space with someone from the on chain team. So we are going with on chain as well.
Yep. I think they're asking that because last night we did ours,
Hmm.
and he did his presentation for us, and I think maybe I was underselling like what you're actually going to be able to do with it and how big of a deal it actually is.
Yeah,
So I think the people were really excited.
good.
So, yeah, I think ours should be basically available at the same time on
Probably.
chain.
Yeah.
He said a few weeks from now. So they got delayed a little bit for development, but they have a Solana conference that they're going to, and they want to have it done before then. So
Shut up, Web. Okay, let's move on. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be facetious about it, but whenever I tell you to shut up, this one commenter on YouTube, just know it's somewhat lighthearted.
there is a project that is copying Solnik's every move, but it's not he.
Really?
I think you could probably figure out who it is.
Okay. All right. I already know.
But they won't be copying the thousands of lines of code that I'm putting in.
Oh,
I know that.
okay. Let me get your thoughts on something. This guy Anthony7901 says, and use explain why Brad sold 120 million worth of XRP this year if prices meant to fly. First of all, I'd love to hear your thoughts, Devin, but I will say I'm here for percentages right now. I'm not here for X's. And that I think, Devin and I may have different opinions on this, but I want percentages. I want percentage gains. I see XRP at $2.20. I see that as a value for the short term. There are people who believe that XRP will go to $9, $11, and I don't listen to anything higher than that because there's lots of ridiculous price targets higher than that. Devin has a target of $5, and I look at buying XRP as a safer option as of right now than a lot of other cryptos. And if we hit Devin's target, that's a win. Okay, so Brad Garlinghouse selling 120 million worth of XRP. That's normal. That's what they've done that plenty of times in the past.
Yep. So I have the XRP chart right here. Let me get the actual one. So this is the market cap.
Yeah.
So the main reason why too, like I got pretty much the so I sold 40%. The plan here, let me say it right now. The plan was 30%, but I sold 40%. Okay. At $3.33 because I was doing a guesstimate of the 1618 on market cap. Because market cap, regardless of what the army will tell you, is the true price. And so I think XRP actually got to $3.40. Is that right? I didn't sell the absolute top, but I got pretty close. But I think that it's a pretty good value relatively right now. I just think that there's a lot of better values.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have to view XRP to me in a vacuum of like, hey, not even that long ago, it was at 30-40 cents. So it's already done a 10x this cycle, and it's a large market cap. It's not it's not this. You're going to put $20 in, and you're going to be able to retire your mom and your dad and your auntie and all this stuff. It's a large market cap. It has a larger market cap than BlackRock, the company, the stock. So it's not a micro cap gem that's going to 1000x from here.
Yeah.
My target since 30 cents has been $5 to $8 is the most probable outcome. And I'm not mad at a $12 target. So I exited. So my average price overall on XRP is 20 cents. My average price, because I've been in it for multiple cycles, my average price the last cycle was about 32, 33 cents, somewhere in that range. That's where I made my biggest position on XRP. And I was heavily, heavily DCAing, accumulating in the bear market on XRP. Bitcoin was my number one accumulation. XRP was number two. And look at this like law that it just gave you, just literal years of this 30, 40% price target. So that's where I was accumulating. And my plan of action, because my average overall price is 20 cents, my plan of action was at $1.11 to take 10%, at a dollar or $2.22 to take 10%, and at $3.33 to take 30%. And I took 40. So I am like all the way completely de-risked out of XRP. And I don't personally have I'm okay on adding to my position because I still have enough. Even going to $8 or $5 is going to be more than enough for me. And if I'm dead wrong, I'm going to hold 15% as an insurance policy that all the XRP armies are correct and market cap doesn't matter. That's going to be more than enough to be more than enough for me. If it really wants to go to $100 or $1,000 or 589 or whatever ridiculous, if it wants to go on a moon mission, so be it. I am exposed enough. But going from $2 to $5 compared to the stock market, I think that's a win. So
Yeah.
but you just need to have the correct expectations on XRP, which I think Alex does, but I think a lot of people don't. And we don't really hear about XRP until it does a crazy move, and it's like, what do you think about XRP? It's like, I'm taking profit. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. That's my thoughts. I think very probable that it goes to $5 and pretty probable it goes to $8. And if those are your expectations, a 2 to 4x, 5x, then hey, you're cooking with bacon grease. But if you think you're going to put in $73 and you're going to be able to retire and quit your job at McDonald's, I don't think so.
$10,000.
It's not going to 10,000. No, it's mathematically impossible.
Market cap doesn't matter, Devin.
Yeah, market cap does.
Myth.
Did you see my I have these different characters that I bring out in my videos. And one of them was Broski. So Broski. And
Okay.
I put on my sunglasses and I put on my XRP hat and I had on a tank top and I was just curling. And I was like, no, bro, market cap doesn't even matter. You got the Swift.
The Swift. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's not get banned.
The funny thing is too, the XRP army, it's like they don't understand that XRP has been my second largest position since 2018.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I said something about I bought some XRP earlier this week or last week. I don't remember. And of course, somebody commented, the number one XRP hater in all of existence is suddenly turning on XRP. It's like, I held XRP all throughout that range when it was at 50 cents and people are getting bored of XRP and people are asking, should I sell my XRP and buy something else? Hey, thank you, Webb. For you, I know you were asking Ski of this question, but I also bought some Flux. There's another one I bought yesterday.
So my mining equipment is gone. I traded my mining equipment for cash / farming equipment. I traded it for a bow. I traded it for a tractor, and I traded it for a gator. I traded my whole farm for that, and I think that I sold the bottom of GPU prices, to be honest. But for me personally, I basically have accomplished most of my goals and I'm trying to transition into another thing. So I'm not mining Flux, but I am buying Flux still. I am DCAing at Flux. That is my number one AI play, if you will. But I think it actually has the computational power necessary. And you'll see too, like there is Flux like art generation. You can see that on one of the AI things, and it's not even presented as a cryptocurrency, but that is from Flux. And then they have their own. I'm not gonna. They have their own product, right? So what we were talking about earlier is like, are these coins actually profitable, generating revenue, and are they doing it by dumping supply on your head? And whoops, the case with Flux is that's not the case. Like, they have real products that are available, such as this Flux Cloud, which is comparable to Google Cloud, AWS, or Azure, whatever you want to say. So, like, they have real products that they're really creating. So I'm very bullish on Flux, the computational power potential. And I'm not even saying like, hey, this is real AI, but I think that they have the computational power to do what is required.
There we go. That sounds like a paid promotion, Devin.
I know. I need you guys to pump my bags. I have 53,000 followers, but we're gonna pump this multi-million dollar. Someone accused me of that of ICP the other day.
Oh my goodness.
It's like, do you know that ICP is like multiple billions of dollars? I know that you think I have a lot of power, and I appreciate that, but I got a little ways to go. But yeah, Flux is one of my top low market cap value plays.
Nice.
I like ICP. I like Link. So Bitcoin goes to zero. Bitcoin mathematically cannot go to zero. I made sure of it. I sent back in 2014 a couple Bitcoin off to the Ether that can never be sold. So mathematically, it cannot be going to zero. And there was approximately 8 to 12 million of other Bitcoins that are like that. So that mathematically cannot happen. Crypto Garge says if Bitcoin goes to zero, we are saying that there's absolutely no monetary value for XRP. Yeah, mathematically, Bitcoin cannot go to zero. There's approximately 10 million Bitcoin that can never be sold. So that is a mathematical impossibility. $20,000 Cardano or 4,500 XRP if you could only hold one of them. How long am I holding them for?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't mind both of them for 10 years, actually.
Yeah.
Right now, in this moment, if you're saying for the next 12 months, 18 months, I would say Cardano is a better value than XRP right now. If you're telling me the next 10 years, I would probably pick XRP, but that would be close.
I agree 100% with that statement. Yeah. I like Cardano right now for better returns over the next however long. But between the two, XRP, 10 years.
Yeah. And I would say I would feel more comfortable, although I feel comfortable holding both of them. I would feel a little bit more comfortable with XRP just because Charles has he is the guy, and sometimes he can spaz out a little bit and crash out. And I'm not saying he's going to turn into BitBoy or nothing like that, but the fate rests on one man. So, where XRP is a decentralized cryptocurrency.
Yes.
What do you think of RSR?
RSR. Well, let me look at the chart. Chart looks decent. Good dip buying opportunity like every other crypto, but it certainly looks to me like it bottomed out, potentially broken downtrend, potentially putting in a higher low. So that's all I'll say about RSR.
What do you think is a good price for Cardano? Are you price potential? So mine is 246, low, medium, high.
246.
No, $2 low, medium is 4.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense.
ADA or XLM. XLM has a little bit more inflation. I think the XLM is okay value, but I think ADA will outperform XLM.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when it comes to Cardano, it's just I like the chart. I'm hoping my limit order fills. I was hoping, especially today, maybe it will. My limit order is 67.85 cents, and I have the trade set for a long. You can see it on my chart here. Take profits is around 90 cents, but I mean, not saying that it's going to peak at 90 cents. So there we go.
When are we getting out of Crow?
Oh man.
Big G. I personally, this I don't know how long you've been following me, but I am not moved by narratives. I'm just not. Now I'm going to say the unburn is sketchy. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It is a sketchy thing, but just like everything, nothing quite like price will change sentiment. And I said this a couple of weeks ago before when Crow was down, and then like I think last week or maybe a few days ago, Crow was pumping, and guess what? Nobody was talking about the unburnt. They were talking about price predictions. Where do I think it can go? For Crow. And I think that it's very similar to Solana. Like Solana's network outages has happened 5+ times the main net, and that is terrible news. But guess what? With a little bit of price action, we forget all about it. And I think that Crow is going to be similar. Now, I think that Crow is more likely to retrace than go absolutely
Yep.
parabolic, but that's still more than a 10x.
Yeah, I mean, what they did was shady. It was terrible. It was ridiculous. I made a video a couple of weeks ago talking about Crow and Bitcoin Cash, and those were two of my favorite charts short term. That was before they announced the unburn, and Crow has been killing it, which is just it's bizarre. I
Right.
mean, no, there was zero FUD. I mean, zero FUD that actually had an effect on the price of the Crow token.
This looks like
So
a breakout to me.
yeah,
I mean, it's above the 200 or testing it. It might get rejected off this 200 if you it'll probably get rejected off this 200, but this looks like a clean breakout to me.
yeah.
Breaking that downtrend.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Um, yeah, it's a bit oversold, but not crazy. So yeah, I mean, I'd look for a back test, but yeah, I don't think that's the crazy thing. Like the narrative happened here. When was the actual date of the unburn? I would like to put this on the chart.
You need to switch to yours.
Oh, when was the date of the actual unburn?
I think it was last week, but I don't know the exact date.
But man, it looks like the bottom is what it looks like. Yeah, this looks like a clean breakout to me. Again, I think it's super sketchy, and to me, it tells me that like, hey, they never actually burned it. They sent it to a wallet and they called it burned. That
Yeah.
because there's no way of unburning. That is not a real thing in crypto. Um, so to me, they did some sketchy activities, but I mean, it seems like they're a part of the club with the White House. Like the White House is supposedly holding their Bitcoin there. So yeah, this has had zero negative effect on the price at all, and this looks like a breakout to me. So I think you know the key level that I have is 50 cents. So that's the micro. If I pull a micro Fibonacci from this top to this bottom, the 2618 takes you to 50 cents, and that's the macro 0.5. That seems like a when you have confluence of like two separate Fibonacci's at one level, 50 cents seems like a pretty reasonable target. And that's a 5x. And then the 702 is 69 cents. So I think that those are very probable for Crow. I don't know that it's going to go parabolic, but I wouldn't put it past it.
We'll see.
Stack up on Chainlink. Yeah, I just went long on Chainlink this morning. Are we going
Yeah,
lower from here?
sure.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If you're asking me, are we going to have more red days? The answer is yes. If you're asking me if do I think that we're going to take out the structural, like could we even go to 75 and that be the selling climax or the spring of Wyckoff accumulation? 75 is on the table. But if you're asking me if I think that we're going to make another leg into the 60s, no, I don't think so. Price drop is tariffs. Yeah, that's the narrative. to me that narrative. I mean, we've had that narrative for 5 weeks. You said 5 weeks of oversold in the
Yeah.
stock market.
No, five weeks of sentiment being bearish.
Yeah, I would like to know the last time that happened.
It was at the bottom in 2022.
Yeah, so that makes me. I didn't even know that. That makes me like I've been very very bullish and more confidence as the days goes on. But that makes me very very confident.
Yeah.
Because you just cannot. It's just like there's balance. It's balance. That's it. There's yin yang. There's balance. The market is always trying to find balance, and you just cannot be for every 5 weeks of bearishness. Guess what there is? There's 5 weeks of bullishness. Does that mean tomorrow? Does that mean next week? No. But I think that we're making a higher low right now.
Yeah, I want to look for at some point, you want to keep talking. I want to find the post that I referenced about 5 weeks of bearishness. So it'll take me a few minutes here, but I don't know. I can look at it a little bit.
Why are people so negative with XRP when it's got the obvious future potential? I think people are negative on XRP because the XRP cult makes them delusional, or it makes them like they're so delusional that it rubs people the wrong way.
Yes, 100%. That's exactly it. And I understand why that mindset came about, and that was in late 2017, early 2018, when people were saying that there was absolutely no way that XRP was going to go to $1, and then it got to $2. And then the XRP army, that's when I think the XRP army was formed. They felt vindicated, and they felt like, all right, well, you know what? We're never going to listen to anyone say anything about XRP not going to such and such a price. And they raised it to ridiculous numbers. 589 for some reason. I don't even know the reasoning behind 589.
The Simpsons.
What is that? Oh, the Simpsons.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That's the reason.
So all right. So is that a meme number, or is that like now people are serious that we're going to 589?
It was a meme, but is now serious.
Wow. Okay. And then $10,000 XRP. It's like, come on, guys. So we don't hate XRP. We just, if you guys who love XRP, you're crazy about it. You want to be you want to be the bag holders and hold it down to well under $1 in the bear market. Then by all means go for it. But neither of us are going to do that.
Yeah. So again, let me just be clear. XRP since 2018 till today, till present moment, is my second largest holding.
Yeah, exactly.
To this day. But I have very realistic targets. And guess what? I do not have theorized gains. I have realized gains.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't sit here and think about, oh my God, what kind of car am I going to get when it reaches 589? No. I realized the gains and then I bought a farm.
And then we'll be buying XRP in the bear market when everyone else.
I will be buying XRP at $1.
Yes. Yeah.
Aggressively.
Okay, I found the chart. Now this is in regards to the stock market.
You have to there you go.
So bears above 50% for 5 consecutive weeks is essentially, here's the last 2 times that happened: 1990 and 2022. So again, for the stock market, not for crypto. In 2022, that was in, it looks like that was in November of 2022, or very close to November of 2022, when the last time that bears, that more than 50% of people were bears. The other time was 1990.
Wow.
And we had, after that, the roaring 90s. So take with that what you will. This seems like a combination of an overreaction to the tariffs and kind of, I would say, a desire for those who like, we're so polarized right now that they want it. The
Mm,
ones who don't like Trump, they want him to at least create a narrative of this is destroying the country,
mm.
and people are believing it. But
I'll say too, the fact that we are dumping into April 2nd,
yeah,
I think definitely plays into your theory of by the event. So just for reference too, real quick on one last thing I'm going to say about XRP, and then I'm done with it. Uh, from Okay, so this is from 2017, but from the 2022 bottom until today, XRP did a 15x.
you need. Are you trying to share? Are you showing your chart?
I can show my chart. Yep.
Okay.
So XRP did a 15x. That's market cap. And I know the XRP army will tell you that market cap doesn't matter, but when you're measuring the price, 15x, that is a lifetime of stock market gains. That's life-changing money. Trust me, I know. This is life-changing money. So that's the perspective that you had to have with XRP. Like it has the same market cap as BlackRock, and it did a 15x. So that's the last thing I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. In regards to we're dumping leading into April 2nd, I was actually surprised that Bitcoin got as high as it did this week. That it got up to $88,000 because we're not out of the woods yet. We're not. What we do usually is we'll buy into the hype of of super exciting events like Elon Musk going on SNL, and we'll sell into the fear.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
so
I think it was I think we were oversold though. Like I don't think we should have gotten to 76.
yeah,
So I think that was a bear trap into a bull trap, back into a bear trap is probably what's happening right now.
that sounds about right.
I think we were way oversold, and then we got a little bit micro overbought, and we're probably going to get oversold again. And that's how it goes. That's how the cookie crumbles. Alex,
All right, wait. So Alex, you said you were bullish 3 days ago. Again. Can you just respond to that,
I
please?
got you. All right. So listen, I know that we're content creators, and you put us on this pedestal. Myself and Alex do not have a time horizon of 3 days. Myself and Alex do not have a time horizon of 3 hours. Myself and Alex do not have a time horizon of 3 weeks. Myself and Alex do not have a time horizon of 3 months. Myself and Alex do not have a time horizon of 3 years. It's more like 3 decades. Okay. So when we say that a bottom is in, what we were referring to is not on this minute, there will never be another liquidation wick that ever goes lower. No, we are talking about the structural bottom. If we look at Bitcoin, for instance, or I'll just any chart, it doesn't matter. So if I were to tell you in hindsight that, hey, this was the bottom, that's what we're talking about. This is the bottom. Did we wick lower? Yep.
Yeah.
But then did we do a 15x? Yes. A structural bottom is forming.
Yeah. I so I mean I have been bullish. I mean, this the thing in that I said is this is the sign that I'm looking for. It looks like we have seen signs of reversal. That does not mean okay, this is the bottom. If you buy now,
100x
we
long.
yeah, 100x long. That's the thing. It's like I started buying last week. I bought throughout this week. I will continue to buy next week. I am down on some of the things that I bought. I'm up on some of the things that I bought, and I don't care about right now. I'm buying with a confidence that the things that I'm buying will be higher a month, 2 months, something like that for now. So, um, is it a good time to buy stocks then? All right. I see the question up here, and
I think we might
okay.
have differing views on this.
No, I listen. I think stocks. All right, so I kind of also want to respond to Crayon Dave because I'm a short term bull. I am a end of this year bear, and so he's saying that there's some mixed messaging across both. And yes, I have seen people misinterpret my medium term bearishness and interpret that as short term bearishness, and it drives me crazy. I think that that's more on you guys, that you need to hear when I say I'm a bull, that I am a short term bull and that I'm here to make short term gains, short term being the next couple of months. Okay. Now, with that mindset, is it a good idea to buy stocks? When I buy stocks, I have a much more long term perspective. Okay, so if I am a medium term bear, I believe we're going to enter a recession. I do. I would rather wait to buy stocks, because if I were to buy stocks right now, the gains would be like 5%, 10%, and then I'd be looking to sell. I'm not here for that. I'm here to aside from, like, I'm more willing to DCA into stocks, even now, even though I believe that stocks will be much lower at some point. So
Yeah, I
not
think
quite.
I think I'm bearish on the stock market. Not in the micro. This is super macro now.
Yeah,
I'm talking. I think we have a long distribution, multiple years, into 2029. That's what I think. So I mean, we might make a little micro higher high, where it's like negligible percentage higher, as in like an upthrust or something like that. But I think that the Dow Jones and the stock market personally is working on a macro multi-year distribution. And then, although I don't think we're going to crash like in the 20s because we're measuring it in the US dollar, which is itself in a bubble, but I do think that there will be, you know, 20% pullback or something like that, which we've seen before. I mean, we just got that really.
yeah,
So to me, this is probably, we'll see. This is might be your buying climax, and then it might work multiple years, get an upthrust, maybe even a UTAD, and then probably work itself back to the 2022 lows. Is probably how it'll play out, but this will take many, many years, in my
yeah.
opinion.
So there are some stocks that I'm buying, but it's so somebody asked, Andrea asked on TikTok, are you buying gold and silver? And my answer to that question is yes, I am. There's some precious metals accounts that I follow on X that have made a very convincing case. Yeah, there's Devin with his silver. They've made a very convincing case that we're entering. So as you see what you see on Devin's chart with the stock market, that it's something that they're calling a capital rotation event, where metals are going to be much more favorable over the next something like 10 to 15 years in comparison to the stock market. And so the stocks that I've been buying lately are precious metals miners along with gold and silver. So I'm okay. I think that even while the rest of the market is in distribution, or is going to be in distribution over the next decade or so, that precious metals miners will do very well. And I remember in 2011 buying the peak of silver, and still being a bag holder of that. That was my baptism into don't chase green candles, was buying silver at $50.
So something that makes me a little concerned about the stock market on the macro time frame. I'm looking at the 2-week chart, and I might look at the monthly, because I mean, you have 100 years of data, but this is a divergence right here. You see the price is going higher, but the RSI is going lower. So that is something that you see when you see a reversal. Now, this is super macro. Again, we're on the 2-week chart. Every candle is 2 weeks of time. So this will take years to play out. But I do think that there is signs here of distribution, at least starting. Even on the monthly,
Yeah.
it's even crazier. Um, you've been at a clear downtrend on the RSI as the
Yeah.
price is going
Some
higher.
major bullish or bearish divergences there.
Yeah. But this is monthly chart, so every candle is 1 month of data. So
Yeah.
that's going to take a long time to play out. I mean, just on the screen, what's being shown is all the way back to 1987. So This, in my opinion, it's going to be 2029. That's
Yeah.
when it's going to play out.
Yes, 2029. Um, Now I will say, I've made a case before that everything should be priced in gold when we look at the charts. And the Dow Jones, if that's the case, the Dow Jones peaked in 2018 and the S&P and Nasdaq peaked in 2021. Believe it or not, the S&P and Nasdaq both peaked on the same day that Bitcoin peaked in 2021 at $69,000, November 10th of 2021. So take for that what you will, but I would say that 2021 was the peak of euphoria, um, and we can see this because we have not reached that level of euphoria since 2021.
I mean, even the RSI is lower, even
Yeah,
though we're way higher.
yeah.
Yep. I think that
Let me respond to something. Any hopium of Bitcoin dominance rolling over? So something I've observed. Let me get rid of some stuff here, and I'll share this.
is that on TikTok?
Yeah, that was a question on TikTok. I'm going to clean this up a little bit here. So
I think that Bitcoin dominance is working on distribution too. That's why you clean that up. I'll give my thoughts.
I mean,
on
I
that.
did, but
Okay,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead. I gave 5 reasons. I gave or 4 reasons. I made a video called "The Bear Market is Not Here, and Here are the Reasons Why." And one of the reasons was the 50-week moving average. We got to get below that. That signals a bear market. The clear signal of a bear market is getting below the 2-week 20 EMA and then back testing it as resistance. That is a signal of a bear market. Also, you don't start a bear market being in the teens, which 2 weeks ago we were at 15, the most oversold we've been since FTX went to 0. You don't start a bear market like that. And then the main reason is Bitcoin dominance. You do not start a bear market, Bitcoin dominance being in the 60s. Now, it doesn't need to be in the 30s or the 40s or
yeah.
whatever, but it's going to at least be in the high 50s. Like, that's not going to be a real thing. But I do think that it's working on distribution. But go ahead.
I just quite simply, I tweeted this out. I think this pattern breaks to the downside most likely. It is typically, I think it's like a 68% chance that a pattern like this would break to the downside, and we're getting pretty close to a reckoning of sorts. That something has to happen. So
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like what I talked about earlier in the live stream. I'll do the little thing again, but to me, this is distribution. This is your buying climax. Like, look how hot this was on the RSI.
yeah,
You have your automatic reaction. You have your up thrust. The up thrust goes higher than the buying climax. And then you're starting to work on this. Like, you could even view it as like a head and shoulders. You could view it as a bearish, a bear flag, whatever you want to view it as. To me, it's distribution. If we start cracking below daily bodies below this moving average, making higher lows, that's going to show. It doesn't mean to be tomorrow. Distribution can take
yeah,
a long time. But to me, relatively, again, the structural top, we might wick higher. Oh my God. Don't burn me, please. But we might wick higher, but the structural top to me is forming. And I don't know how long this is going to take, but the reason that I'm very confident in this as well is because of what we talked about at the beginning of the live stream. And that's Bitcoin versus the total 3. It's right here. I mean, I don't know why my chart's not loading. Here we go. So on the top is Bitcoin from the C19 crash till the January 2021 peak. And then on the bottom, we have the same time. I have them circled already for you. And what you'll notice is, like, yes, the total 3 was up, but the Bitcoin way outperformed the total 3 during this time. It did more than a 10x, a 12x from the C19 crash till the 2021 peak. During the same time, I think it was like a 2 or a 3x for the total 3. Okay, 4x. But 12x versus a 4x. And when you zoom out, it's very much near the bear market lows. And then after the pullback, After the pullback, Bitcoin does another 1x, and then this is how the end of the story is for the total 3. So it wasn't until you got this macro bear trap in 2021 where Bitcoin already did a 12x, not even from the bottom, just from the C19 crash, less than a year, Bitcoin does a 12x. It wasn't until that time, after the macro pullback, when you actually got an alt season. And this is, to me, that's exactly where we're at. And looking like this is not how a bear market starts. Bear markets do not start with Bitcoin dominance just on a straight line off to Valhalla. That's not real. That's 2 years of just higher highs and higher lows. So that's my opinions on that.
April 2nd.
I mean, seriously, I do think that. I still think into May, 50% move into total 3. That doesn't mean that we need to have like a crazy, oh my God, $20 is going to retire you. But I do think that there's going to be some serious gains to be had compared to the stock market between now and May.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, I think that's been a good one.
It's been a lot more tolerable with my new supercomputer. So
he's actually mining Bitcoin. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for this time. Do not redeem. There's no airdrops. We will never message you first. That's somebody from Pakistan, Kakistan, Turkestan, Lakers in 5. Yeah, we'll never message you. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube and TikTok and X. I'm also on Instagram and Twitch if you want to follow me there.
All right.
Any last words?
No.
All right, guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless.